Welcome to Age of Steel and Fire, where modern warfare meets raw power. Tanks, tactics, and thunder. Let's roll. For nearly a century, Germany's medium tanks have evolved, rolling from the battlefields of World War II into the blueprints of post-war innovation. Each tank in this lineup is a symbol. Some fought, some remained on paper, but all carried the ambition, strategy, and engineering spirit of Germany. Join us as we explore 13 legendary machines of steel, where history, technology, and imagination collide in one unforgettable journey. Our journey begins with the Pz.Kpfw 3 Osf. J, a true workhorse of the German armored forces during World War II. Introduced in 1941, this medium tank was designed to take on enemy armor head-to-head. Armed with a 50mm cannon and twin MG-34s, it packed a punch while maintaining mobility. Powered by a 300-horsepower Maybach engine, the Panzer III could reach speeds of 40 km per hour on roads, impressive for its time. With up to 50mm of armor and a 5-man crew, it was a balanced blend of firepower, protection, and coordination. Produced by giants like Daimler-Benz and MAN, the Osf. J variant became one of the most widely used and battle-tested tanks of the early war years. The Panzer III didn't just fight, it defined the armored doctrine of its era. Next up is the Pz.Kpfw 4 Osf. H, a steel beast that became the backbone of Germany's armored forces during World War II. Introduced in 1943, the Osf. H variant featured upgraded armor and a powerful 75mm Pz.Kpfw cannon, capable of taking on Allied tanks with deadly precision. With frontal armor reaching up to 80mm and a reliable Maybach engine, it balanced protection and mobility on the battlefield. The Panzer IV wasn't just a tank. It was a symbol of German armored doctrine, mass-produced and deployed across every major front. Built by Krupp and Nibelungenwerk, the Osf. H was the most widely manufactured variant, and arguably the most battle-hardened. Our third tank is the Pz.Kpfw T25, a bold conceptual design developed by Skoda in 1942 under German direction. This tank was never built. It remained a paper design, a vision of what could have been. The T25 is a fascinating what-if in armored history, a tank that lived only in blueprints, but still sparks imagination today. Our fourth tank is the Vk30.01H, a prototype medium tank developed by Henschel in 1942 as part of Germany's search for the next-generation battlefield predator. With estimated armor up to 80mm and a projected top speed of 60 km per hour, it aimed to combine survivability with mobility. But history had other plans. The Vk30.01H lost out to MAN's competing design, which would become the legendary Panther. Though never mass-produced, Vk30.01H remains a fascinating what-if, a glimpse into the armored ambitions of wartime Germany. Our fifth tank is the Vk30.02M, the winning prototype that paved the way for one of Germany's most iconic tanks, the Panther. Developed by MAN in 1942, this design featured sloped armor, a powerful 75mm Pz.Kpfw cannon, and a layout optimized for crew efficiency. With frontal armor up to 80mm and a projected speed of 55 km per hour, it promised both protection and mobility. Though never mass-produced in its original form, Vk30.02M laid the foundation for a new generation of German medium tanks. It was the blueprint of battlefield evolution, a prototype that turned into legend. Our sixth tank is the legendary Panther, Germany's answer to the Soviet T-34 and one of the most iconic medium tanks of World War II. Introduced in 1943, the Panther combined sloped armor, high-velocity firepower, and battlefield mobility in a single deadly package. Its Maybach engine delivered 700 horsepower, propelling the 45-ton beast to speeds of 55 km per hour on roads. With up to 120mm of frontal turret armor and a sleek silhouette, the Panther was both feared and admired by friend and foe alike. Built by giants like MAN and Daimler-Benz, it became the backbone of Germany's armored forces in the later years of the war. The Panther wasn't just a tank, it was a statement of engineering dominance. Our seventh tank is the Pz.Kpfw. Daimler-Benz bold contender in Germany's race to build the next great medium tank. Developed in 1942, this prototype featured sloped armor, a powerful 75mm Pz.Kpfw cannon, and a compact silhouette inspired by the Soviet T-34. But in the end, it lost out to man's design, which would become the legendary Panther. Pz.Kpfw never saw mass production, but it remains a fascinating glimpse into the design philosophies of wartime Germany. A tank that almost was a shadow of what might have rolled into battle. Our eighth tank is the Panther II, a bold attempt to upgrade the already formidable Panther into an even more powerful battlefield predator. Developed between 1943 and 1945, the Panther II was designed to carry the fearsome 88mm Pz.Kpfw cannon, the same gun used on the Tiger II. With improved frontal armor up to 120mm and a planned 900 horsepower engine, it aimed to dominate both in firepower and survivability. But the war moved faster than the blueprint. Only one prototype hull was ever built, and the Panther II never saw combat. It was a tank of ambition, a steel dream that never left the drawing board. Our ninth tank is the E50, a conceptual powerhouse from Germany's late war Entwicklung series, designed to unify and modernize armored forces. Planned to carry the formidable 88mm Kw-43 cannon and twin MG-34s, the E50 was envisioned as a medium tank with heavy tank firepower. With up to 120mm of frontal armor and a projected top speed of 60 km per hour, it promised both protection and agility. Powered by a planned 900 horsepower Maybach engine, it was meant to be the future of German armored warfare. But the war ended before the blueprint could become steel. The E50 remained a paper tank, a vision of what might have rolled into post-war battlefields. Our 10th tank is the E50 OSF. M, a fictional evolution of the E50, imagined as the ultimate medium tank in Germany's Entwicklung series. Armed with a hypothetical 105mm cannon and reinforced frontal armor up to 150mm, it was designed to dominate the battlefield with brute force and precision. With a projected top speed of 65 km per hour and a powerful Maybach engine, it combined speed, strength, and survivability. Though never built, the E50 OSF M lives on in simulations and alternate history scenarios as a symbol of what German engineering might have achieved. A tank of pure imagination, where steel meets speculation. Our 11th tank is the Leopard Prototype A, the sleek and powerful prototype that marked West Germany's return to armored innovation. Developed in the mid-1960s, this tank was armed with a British-designed 105mm L7A3 rifled gun and twin MG3 machine guns. Powered by an 830 horsepower diesel engine, it could reach speeds up to 65 km per hour, blending speed and firepower in a modern package. With up to 70mm of frontal armor and a four-man crew, it was designed for NATO's fast-paced battlefield doctrine. Though never mass-produced, the Leopard Prototype A laid the groundwork for the Leopard 1, ushering in a new era of German tank design, a prototype that roared into history. Our 12th tank is the Leopard 1, the first mass-produced tank of post-war West Germany and a symbol of NATO's armored resurgence. Introduced in 1965, the Leopard 1 was armed with the highly effective British 105mm L7A3 rifled gun, paired with twin MG3 machine guns. While its armor was relatively light, the Leopard 1 relied on speed, agility, and superior firepower to outmaneuver and outgun its opponents. Built by Krauss-Maffei, it became a NATO favorite, serving in multiple armies and evolving through decades of upgrades. The Leopard 1 wasn't just a tank, it was a statement of modern warfare, fast, precise, and ready for the Cold War battlefield. Our 13th and final tank is the Leopard 120 Verbessert, a speculative upgrade of the Leopard 1, imagined to bring it into the modern battlefield. Armed with a fictional 120mm Rheinmetall smoothbore gun and reinforced composite armor, this tank was designed to punch above its weight class. With a projected top speed of 70 km per hour and a powerful diesel engine, it combined agility with next-gen firepower. Though never built, the Leopard 120 Verbessert lives on in simulations and alternate history as a vision of what the Leopard 1 could have become. A tank of imagination and ambition, closing our journey with a roar into the future. From the battlefields of World War II to the drawing boards of post-war innovation, Germany's medium tanks have carved a legacy of steel and strategy. Each vehicle in this lineup tells a story, not just of firepower and armor, but of ambition, adaptation, and evolution. Some fought, some remained prototypes, but all helped shape the future of armored warfare. Thank you for joining us on this journey. See you in the next adventure, where history rolls forward, one tank at a time.